Get familiar, get familiar. So if you don't know by now, then you should probably get familiar, get familiar.
Hi, so how are you? Hope you are all doing well, right? Okay, now in this video, I'm here to discuss about the Q value of nuclear reactions. Okay, so in the last video, we have discussed various types of nuclear reactions and how the conservation of various physical parameters takes place, etc. Right? Now, in any nuclear reactions, so it is a fact that certain amount of energy is released or certain amount of energy is absorbed to the nuclear reactions to undergo, isn't it? So how to calculate that amount of energy released or absorbed? So that factor is actually called the Q value, isn't it? So I mentioned here the total amount of energy released or absorbed during the nuclear reaction is called Q value of nuclear reactions. Okay, so basically that value depends upon the total original mass minus total final mass into c square. So this is the basic equation of E is equal to mc square. Einstein's famous equation, E is equal to mc square, isn't it? So if you consider the difference of the mass before and after, okay, total original mass minus total final mass, isn't it? So the difference of the masses of the reactants and products you have to consider into c square, that gives the total energy absorbed or released. So that is considered as the quantity Q. Okay, so Q is equal to Ey plus Ey. Here E capital Y indicates energy of the product, okay, plus energy of the ejectile, any particle emitted here, that is Ey, minus Ex indicates the energy of the incident particle. So in this case, energy of the target is not considered, because we are assuming that when you calculate the difference of energy, the target X is at rest. Okay, when you consider the main target is at rest, then the difference of these energies, energy of the products minus energy of the incident particle, gives the total Q value. So as per the E is equal to mc square, the energies are related to basically the masses of the reactants and products, isn't it? So let us try to obtain that expression of the Q value based on the conservation of linear momentum. Okay, now let us see to derive the expression for Q value of nuclear reactions. So we are considering one simple general nuclear reaction as an example here. So in this figure you can understand that, see, we are considering a projectile, that is nothing but an incident particle on the target. So its momentum is P1, mass M1, and its corresponding energy is E1. That is, as it is accelerated, so it certainly is having certain kinetic energy, so that may be E1. Okay, now one of the particle is projectile incidenting on the target nucleus, and whose mass is again m0, rest mass is m0. As there is a reaction takes place between the projectile and the target nucleus, so it converts into ejectile and residual nucleus. Okay, so we are getting the products as residual nucleus with the emission of one more particle, that is called ejectile. So ejectile particle is having the momentum P2, mass m2, and the energy, corresponding energy is E2. Okay, and similarly the residual nucleus is having the momentum P3, mass m3, and corresponding energy is E3. Okay, now in this simple example, so how to calculate the difference of the masses and energies here? So according to the law of conservation of energy, we can write the first one, m1 c square, as the rest mass energy of the projectile plus the respective energies E1. Okay, plus m0 into c square is the rest mass energy of the target. Okay, so this total sum gives the total energy of the reaction, before the reaction. Okay, so is equal to m2 c square plus E2. So m2 c square is the rest mass energy of the ejectile plus respective energy E2 plus m3 c square is the rest mass energy of the residual nucleus plus respective energy is E3. Okay, so this total sum gives the total energy after the reaction, right? So let it be, it is balanced. Why it is balanced? Because we are considering according to law of conservation of energy, the total energy before the reaction and total energy after the reaction should be same. So we can take it as equation 1. Now just rearrange the equation here for simplification of Q. So to consider the masses like m1 plus m2. Okay, you take this m2 left hand side and m3 also left hand side. So in all the terms c square is common. So m1 plus m2 minus m2 minus m3 into c square as common. Okay, and you take all energies at the right hand side. So that is, here we have already E2, okay, plus E3. You take this minus E1 as minus E1 at the other side. Okay, minus E1. So E2 plus E3 minus E1. So that must be equal to the quantity of energy, okay, either released or absorbed. So E2 plus E3 minus E1 gives actually the value of Q. Okay, so we take this equation as our main equation to calculate Q. So Q is equal to what? E2 plus E3 minus E1. Okay, so now in this main equation we have to substitute the expressions of E1, E2 and E3, let us say. So E1 is the energy of the projectile. Of course, depending upon its kinetic energy, we can substitute the value of E1 easily. And E2 is the energy of the ejectile. So once you know the amount of energy it is released when it is moving certain kinetic energy, you can substitute that value also easily. But what about E3? E3 is the residual nucleus energy. So as this energy is very small, okay, it is not that much of having kinetic energy, the small amount of energy will be there with the residual nucleus. So to calculate that E3, it is very difficult for us. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to eliminate the E3 in the equation. Let us see how to eliminate the value of E3, okay, based on the conservation of linear momentum. Okay, you know the conservation of linear momentum also in the nuclear reaction. So based on that concept, so we can consider the expression for E3 and then make a substitution here. That is the next part of the derivation. Clear? Now let us see how we can proceed now. By applying the law of conservation of linear momentum, so we can write the equation as P1 is equal to P2 plus P3. So what is that? Momentum of the projectile is equal to momentum of the what is that? Momentum of the ejectile. Okay, and then P3 is the momentum of the residual nucleus. So that is the law of conservation of linear momentum. Then how to calculate these momentums as per this diagram. Okay, so because the ejectile and residual nucleus are moving with certain angle with respect to the actual direction of the projectile. Okay, so in fact ejectile is making the angle theta, the residual nucleus is making the angle phi, let us say. Okay, then component momentum along x-axis, you can resolve the component momentums along x-axis here. So that is given by P1 is equal to, okay, so that side along x-axis P1 can be calculated here, isn't it? So P1 is equal to, so P2 cos theta, so that is P2 cos theta. So angle made by the ejectile is equal to theta, so therefore P2 cos theta here. Okay, plus P3 is making the angle phi, so therefore that is P3 cos phi. So that is the equation for P1 along x-axis, isn't it? Similarly, component momentum along y-axis. So if you consider the y-axis, components are resolved along x-axis as well as along y-axis. So what are the components along y-axis? Of course, the projectile is not at all moving along y-axis. It is moving only along x-axis. So the left hand side we have 0. Along y-axis, left hand side we have 0. So that is equal to, so but P2 can be resolved along y-axis. Okay, so that is given by P2 sin theta as a component along y-axis minus, so P3 sin phi is the momentum of the residual nucleus resolved along y-axis. Okay, so with negative sign, because it is opposite y-axis, so to put negative sign here, minus P3 sin phi. This angle, corresponding angle is phi here. Okay, so like that we have the equation 6. Okay, now let us simplify these equations 5 and 6. So now we consider the standard equation of the momentum, that is according to relativistic relation of the momentum. So relative relation of the momentum is given by P is equal to square root of 2m into E. Okay, so that you can substitute all P1, P2, P3 in this form, square root of 2me. Okay, then you see P1 is equal to what now? That is square root of 2m1 E1. Okay, is equal to P2 is nothing but square root of 2m2 E2 into cos theta, of course. Write down that as it is, plus P3, so that is square root of 2m3 E3 into cos phi. Correct? So like that you can just substitute P1, P2, P3 as square root of 2m1 E1, square root of 2m2 E2, and here square root of 2m3 E3. Okay. Then what is the simplification? Here what you can do, so just see square root of 2, square root of 2, square root of 2. So on either side we have square root of 2, we can just cancel that parameter. So left with only square root of m1 E1 is equal to square root of m2 E2 cos theta plus square root of m3 E3 cos phi. It is correct. So after cancelling this square root on both sides, now you take this square root of m2 E2 cos theta in the left hand side, you will get square root of m1 E1 minus square root of m2 E2 into cos theta is equal to square root of m3 E3 into cos phi. Okay, now let it be equation number 7. Now similarly we can make the substitution for P2, P3 also in equation 6, right? Now let us see that one. Okay, now from equation 6 substitute P2, P3 in the same form, that is square root of, right here from equation 6. So left hand side 0 anyway, so P2 only you have to substitute. Okay, so 0 is equal to square root of 2m2 E2 for P2, okay, into sin theta minus P3 is there. What is P3 now? That is 2m3 E3, okay, into sin phi. Clear? Okay. Now just you take this simplification of the equation, as minus is there, isn't it? So you just take it as square root of 2m2 E2 into sin theta is equal to, okay, so you can just make it as an equation as square root of 2m3 E3 into sin phi, because we have 0 on the other side. Now again you can cancel this square root on both sides, so left with only square root of m2 E2 into sin theta is equal to square root of m3 E3 into sin phi. Clear? So this equation is, I think, equation 8 you can take. Now to simplify further, okay, so first what you have to do, you have to eliminate this square root, isn't it? How to eliminate the square root? Okay, just first square the equations 7 and 8 on both sides. Okay, squaring the equation 7 you will get, so this is a minus b, you have to consider this term as a, this term is b. Okay, so squaring both sides, what you will get? A square plus b square, so that means m1 E1. So square root cancels here after making the squaring on both sides. A square plus b square means m2 cos E2 into cos theta. So square root cancels here also. Minus 2ab, isn't it? According to the formula, a minus b whole square I am telling. So a square plus b square is over. Minus 2ab. Okay, that is minus 2 square root of m1 E1 into square root of m2 E2 into cos theta. So left hand side is over, squaring on left hand side. So is equal to, so right side we have m3 e3 square root is cancelled here, so left with only m3 e3 cos square phi, correct? So m2 e2, this is actually square here. Okay, now you see, so this is according to the equation a minus b whole square left hand side, so just it is squared on the right hand side, m3 e3 cos square phi. Okay, then what is the further simplification? Okay, now number 9, question 9. Now similarly, squaring on both sides for equation 8. Okay, equation 8 will give you, so m2 e2, okay, sin square theta is equal to m3 e3 sin square phi. Okay, so this is equation 10. So these two equations are obtained by squaring on both sides. So next you have to add the equations 9 and 10. Adding equations 9 and 10. Okay, now look at the equations 9 and 10. So here we have m1 e1, okay, plus m2 e2 cos square theta, okay, then minus, so that is 2 square root of m1 e1 into square root of m2 e2 into cos theta. Okay, if you add this left hand side to the same equation, that is plus m2 e2 sin square theta. So left hand side is, all terms are added now. So similarly right hand side addition is, so m3 e3 cos square phi plus, from equation 9 it is right hand side, from equation 10 that is plus m3 e3 sin square phi. Clear? Okay. Now you look at the equation. So here cos square theta plus sin square theta can be considered as 1 by taking what is that, m2 into e2 common. So that is m2 e2, where it is that m2 e2 into sin square theta, isn't it? And similarly m2 e2 cos square theta. So simplification is now m1 e1 plus, for these two terms. Okay, so m2 e2 is common, sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So I will leave that term there. So that is then left with minus 2 square root of m1 e1 into square root of m2 e2 into cos theta. Okay, so is equal to, so right hand side again we have m3 e3 cos square phi plus m3 e3 sin square phi. So again m3 e3 is taken common, sin square phi plus cos square phi is equal to 1. Okay, left with only m3 into e3, isn't it? Only m3 into e3 on the right hand side. Okay, now the next simplification I will write here. Okay, so in the next simplification, so what I want to eliminate here is E3, isn't it? In the equation 3 you have to eliminate E3, so therefore you write now, so on both sides. Okay, so equation E3 is obtained as, so you have to divide by M3 on both sides, then you will get E3, isn't it? So E3 is equal to, so that is M1 E1 plus M2 E2, okay, minus, so that is 2 into square root of M1 M2 E1 E2, okay. So this equation, 2 into square root of M1 M2 E1 E2 into cos theta, okay. So for all these left hand term you have to divide by M3, then you will get E3, so you have to divide by that M3, okay. So this entire term is also divided by M3. Now we make the substitution of this equation now in the equation 3, so that from equation 3, so this is the main equation for us 3, to get the value of Q, okay. Q is equal to what? E2 plus, you write down the entire term again in place of E3, okay. So minus E1 is there. Here you have to write the equation of E3. You will get E2 as common, because here E2 is there, here also E2, so E2 is common. So left with 1 plus M2 by M3 from this term, okay. E2 is common here, plus again E1 is also common, okay. Let us consider that now as E1 common. So left with M1 plus M1 by M2 with minus 1 here from the contribution from E1, so that is E1 is common, M1 by M3, so it is M1 by M3 minus 1, okay, M minus 1. So minus the terms are 2 divided by M3, because it was divided by 3, divided by M3, you know, okay, 2 by M3 into square root of M1 M2 E1 E2 into cos theta. Okay, so this is the equation for the value of Q in a nuclear reaction. Suppose if theta is equal to 90 degree, then cos theta is equal, cos 90 is equal to 0. Then Q is equal to, so look at the equation. So this term is equal to 0 here, left with only E2 into 1 plus M2 by M3 plus E1 into M1 divided by M3 minus 1, okay. After eliminating this equation, this is the particular equation. We can assume the amount of energy released as a Q value when the ejectile is moving exactly perpendicular to the projectile. Otherwise, so this is a general equation for calculation of Q value, okay. So next video we'll discuss how you can classify the nuclear reactions based on the value of Q. So sometimes we get the value of Q as positive, sometimes the value of Q is negative. So based on that we have endoergic and exoergic nuclear reactions. So that part we'll discuss in the next class, okay. Thank you.